Hello friends, welcome back to the Kumbi Jiku show on GK Sports YouTube channel. K. Srinath, player-turned-umpire, and I preview the 5-match T20I series India versus New Zealand that begins on 21st of January. New Zealand created history by winning the Test series in India way back in October-November 2024, the first ever time they did so. And they also repeated it in the ODI format, winning the first ever series in India that just concluded very recently. Can New Zealand create a treble of winning a first full T20I series in India? Because way back, India lost 0-1 to New Zealand in the only T20 match because it was a two-match series and the first match was abandoned without even a toss. So India won the next three T20 series, but can New Zealand rewrite records and create a treble? They are in form and they have all the wherewithal to do so. But India are champions. They are the world reigning champions. To discuss what's in store in the 5-match series, none other than K. Srinath. Welcome, Sri. And can New Zealand do what they did to India in the tests and the ODIs?
Thank you, Jiku. Why not? We've seen the brand of cricket they've played, particularly in India, as you mentioned in the Test match series as well as in the ODI series. It's not a dream which certainly they would be envisaging. It certainly could be a reality. A couple of points. One is this is a dress rehearsal for New Zealand because they're going to play the T20 ICC World Cup due to begin in the first week of February, hosted by BCCI, India, Sri Lanka, and New Zealand plays all the games in India. So it's a dress rehearsal, and adding to that, they've been bolstered by the inclusion of most of the T20 specialists. Mitchell Santner is the captain, and the team has been strengthened by the inclusion of Jacob Duffy, Matt Henry, Rachin Ravindra. Of course, their ODI team has at least 5 or 6 players who are part of this setup. The likes of Convoy, Mitchell, who was a thorn in India's flesh, and of course Glenn Phillips, who's known for his prowess as a white ball cricketer. Yes, it's a very, very interesting series. Mind you, India's last round before the World Cup campaign starts, 5-match series against New Zealand, a tough opponent. And the question will be, will India finally crack, the code, what sort of playing 11 they want to go with, and especially the number 3 batting order, which has been, experimented for a very long time. I believe that this would be the last chance for India to get the thing all right, because the bowling unit is, a well-settled one with the comeback of Jasprit Bumrah. They already have the likes of Arshdeep, Harshit Rana, who's done well. Of course, Hardik Pandya, a very, very vital member in this team. And of course, the brilliant spin trio of Akshar, Varun Chakravarti, and Kuldeep Yadav. Yeah, looking forward, it's going to be a very, very interesting 5 TOI games against the Kiwis.
You just touched upon whether India will stop experimenting and go with the determined 11 that could feature in the World Cup. What about the opening slots? We have Sanju Samson and Abhishek Nair, who have done extremely well whenever they have batted together. And the Tilak Verma did that number 3 position a great justice, did very well in that place, but he is missing out at least for the first 3 T20s because of injury. And in comes Shreyas Iyer. And we also saw Surya Kumar Yadav batting from positions 3 to 5, 6 sometimes. Will he cement his number 3 slot at Surya Kumar Yadav and stop experimenting and finalize the settled batting order?
Abhishek Sharma and Sanju Samson, in the last 18 months, whenever they have an opportunity to open the innings for India, they have done extremely well. I think that's one thing that looks fixed. Yeah, this is time because we are not sure about the state of recovery of Tilak Verma. Will he get fully fit for the World Cup? If not, who's going to take that slot? Nobody better than Surya Kumar Yadav. I believe that he's going to walk in at number 3. And, he's batted there at number 3 for his franchisee Mumbai Indians for a very long period of time where he's found a lot of success. Why not? I think he'll be walking in at number 3, followed maybe by Shreyas Iyer. Because Shreyas Iyer has replaced Tilak Verma in the side, along with Ravi Bishnoi making a cut because of the injury to Washington Sundar. Now, it all depends on what sort of game time Shreyas Iyer gets in these 5 games. Looking ahead, if at all there's going to be an injury scare, and because this being a tournament run by BCCI, India need not run helter-skelter to get a replacement earlier, because till the last moment they can wait for the recovery of a particular player and then name a replacement. So this particular 5-match series is going to be very important for the likes of Shreyas Iyer, and he certainly would get game time for him to prove, not only because he's proved his fitness already by playing in the Vijay Hazare and in the recently concluded ODI series against New Zealand. Now it's all about the sort of form that he's going to show with the bat. It's going to be very important for somebody like Shreyas Iyer.
And also we saw Ishan Kishan come back into the T20 squad following his phenomenal domestic performances. Do you see him get a game in any of these 5 matches? Because we know for sure he is one who can explode whenever the ball is in his areas.
Yeah, I mean, we spoke about the selection of Ishan Kishan at the back of a tremendous Mushtaq Ali tournament, which brought him back into the India Blues. I feel unless and until there's going to be an injury scare or something else happens to Sanju Samson, because Ishan Kishan is being slotted in as the second wicketkeeper ahead of Jitesh Sharma. So because he's somebody who's batted at the top. Again, playing him in the 11 and slotting him at number 5 or 6 because he's a left-hander will certainly not do any sort of good for his confidence or for the sort of run he's had. At least to start with in the first 3 games, I find no place for Ishan Kishan. Maybe if India seals the series with 3 victories up front, if they decide that they want to give somebody game time and give them a run, there could be a possibility that Ishan Kishan could get to play. Otherwise, to start with, Ishan Kishan would not find a place in the playing 11.
And just coming back to Surya Kumar Yadav and his form, which has been a concern, he has not got the runs that he is known to. What can this New Zealand series do to Surya Kumar Yadav? Because it's been, they say that he has been hitting the ball well in the nets and all that, but actual runs from Surya Kumar Yadav's bat, do we see him get back to his form, play that kind of 360 that he is known to, and go into the World Cup in tremendous confidence and form?
No better, position for him at number 3 to come in, get to bat, a lot of overs. And I feel that he coming in at number 4 or 5 when lesser number of overs are left, I think he's hurried to playing too many shots. You already have the likes of somebody like Shreyas Iyer who can walk in at 4. You've got an Akshar Patel. You've got the likes of Hardik Pandya, Shivam Dubey. So these are the power hitters whom you have in the middle and low middle who can finish the game for you. Surya, to me, needs to spend some time because he's a sort of player who consumes 10 balls to get to a 4 or 5. Can just make it up in the next 10 balls by getting 3 or 4 boundaries or 4 or 5 sixers. And the second thing is, I think instead of trying to go too aerial early in his innings, which he succumbed to in the recent past, if you've seen the mode of dismissals, his feet are not moving, he's getting nicked off, caught behind or caught at slips, or he's trying to play on the up, not gauging the pace of the pitch and, getting caught at mid-on and mid-off. So these have been the patterns of, mode of dismissals which Surya has got stuck to in the recent past. I think, mentally he's a pretty strong cricketer. And certainly, again, I would say that it's just a matter of biding time in the middle. It's a shortest format, 120 ball. If India gets off to a blazing start, let's say in the 4 or 5 overs, they get to 50 for 1, whatever he walks into bat. It's an ideal situation for him to just, play a couple of balls for singles. Then he's got his, potential shots. And mind you, no better place than India for him to conquer these things so easily. And he's known for those big hits. He can always spend some time, make up for those dot balls at the later end of the innings. So Surya needs to be that much bit more patient and ensure that he gets quality time in the middle, because an informed Surya runs behind his back is going to be very, very important for the morale of this Indian side.
And it looks like the batting is sorted out. What about the bowling? You think India have settled down with a fine bowling unit that can win them or help them retain the ICC T20 World Cup?
Absolutely. It's a fabulous bowling unit. We've got teachers. We've got the likes of the world's two top T20I bowlers in Bumrah and Arshdeep, both of them going past 100 international wickets in T20Is. You've got a formidable spin trio of Akshar Patel and Varun Chakravarti, who's made T20 format his own. And of course, Kuldeep Yadav. You've got Harshit Rana, who's blossomed as an all-rounder who can hit the long ball. And of course, Hardik Pandya, who can be more than a handful with the ball. Now, it all boils down to the combination. If India decides to go in with three spinners in Akshar, Kuldeep and Varun Chakravarti, can they afford to play Arshdeep and Bumrah? So it becomes a five-bowler attack plus an Hardik Pandya 6, and you can only have five batters. So five batters includes Sanju Samson, you've got Abhishek Sharma, you've got Shreyas Iyer, Surya Kumar Yadav, and one slot left. Would you be tempted to play somebody like a Rinku Singh, or would it be, let's say, Shivam Dube? So it's a tricky situation, because your front runners are going to be Varun Chakravarti and Akshar Patel. With the sort of form in the recent ODI series, Kuldeep looked a little bit out of color. It all boils down to how India can, give him the confidence and then take it forward from there. So I think it's a question of riches for India in the bowling attack. It all boils down to what sort of combination they want to look at, and also depends on the venues where they play.
And of course, Shivam Dube, we have seen him take some crucial wickets, give those breakthroughs whenever he has come to bowl with his medium pace. So that's one thing that they also look at, like you mentioned. So looking at the New Zealand side, Sri, Darryl Mitchell has been in phenomenal form. Rachin Ravindra loves batting in India. What kind of threat do they pose to India?
Look, of course, Mitchell's love story with India. As an Indian fan, I would not like to look at it continuing. But from a cricketing perspective, yes, he's been in phenomenal touch. And of course, the likes of Santner, the likes of Rachin Ravindra, it could be Matt Henry, somebody like Jacob Duffy. Most of these players, they've been exposed to the Indian conditions for a very long period of time, either by touring India, playing international cricket, or they've been part of IPL franchises. So these conditions are, not very new to them. As I said, they are a fabulous fielding unit. One of the, top 2 or 3 in world cricket. And of course, Glenn Phillips is going to be a major threat. His 4 overs of off-spin bowling and his dynamic batting. Again, he can be somebody like, as dangerous as Surya Kumar Yadav in form can be. So definitely they're going to give India a run for their money. And by no stretch of imagination, India can sit back and say, and bank on their laurels, saying that we are the reigning world champions and, things are just going to happen. They have to get their game they have to raise the bar and ensure there are no slip-ups, because the start is going to be very, very important. It's a 5-match series. You can always say they can be locked 1-all, 2-1, 2-all, then come back to the decider. The team which wins the first one and carries forward the momentum is always going to have the upper hand.
And you just touched upon Glenn Phillips, and have you not seen him fly like a Spider-Man and pull off those fantastic, unbelievable catches? One too many. So that's Glenn Phillips, and we can look forward to New Zealand putting up a fantastic fight, and India will be on their toes. Sri, finally, before winding up, do you think the outcome of this T20 series will determine India's progress to how far they can go in the World Cup?
I would say it's just a dress rehearsal, You spoke about Surya hitting the ball well in the nets. I mean, you can have a number of things happening within a close conundrum, or you can do a number of simulations. I believe this is going to be the best practice India can have before getting into the World Cup. Winning or losing, it's just that, the morale can be up a little bit or down a little bit, because the bunch of players are extremely professional and they know what it takes for them to get into a massive event like a World Cup. Mind you, the pressure certainly will be on India, because being the host of this particular tournament and having the badge as the reigning world champions. And we can't mince words. We obviously have to say India will be the firm favorites going into this World Cup. So the outcome of the series, certainly mathematically, numerically, yes, it could raise eyebrows, and the talk will go on till the start of the World Cup. But I don't think mentally there would be any sort of impact per se on the team or the players, depending on what happens in this particular series. But as I said, India needs to put their best foot forward, because there's no better place, no better game time you get when you play in international cricket, that too in a match situation.
And like it has often been said, no defending champion has successfully won it the next time. No host country has won the T20 World Cup. So it's all in India's hands. It's all in Surya Kumar Yadav's hands, how he and his team go for further. And it all starts in Nagpur on 21st. 5 T20 series leading up to the ICC Men's T20 World Cup. Thank you very much, Sri. And
yes. Finally, Jiko, I want to interrupt you. I always say history was created. History always can be rewritten. It can again be, rescripted. So that's always my belief. Well, that's something for the viewers. You mentioned saying that, no host or no reigning champion has gone on to successfully win one. But I believe this is the best chance India has, because they have a tremendous a bunch of cricketers in this lineup.
Certainly, yes. And of course, history is always meant to be rewritten. So on that note, see you soon in the course of this T20 series, somewhere in the middle or at the end of it. Take care, stay safe, and thank you very much once again for your wonderful thoughts leading up to the T20 series. Thank you, Sri. Thank you, viewers. Bye-bye.
Thank you.